All right, thanks, Rick. Well, in her new book, Generate Performance, author Kim Huggins focuses on the unique strengths of each generation that can dramatically improve performance and productivity and transform your business. Sounds good. Kim joins me once again to tell us how you can utilize the talents of everyone, no matter their age. Kim, good morning once again.
Good morning.
So let's talk about, how you deal if you're a member of a multi-generational workforce or if you're the leader of a multi-generational workforce. You say, you can utilize everybody's strengths and it's fairly easy. Where do you begin?
Yeah, I think the most important part is understanding who the four generations are and what they value. So as a leader, what worked 20 years ago as far as treating everybody the same doesn't work in today's world. You really have to get to know your employees on a personal level and find out what motivates them and what they are looking for in your workplace.
So let's give a little overview, Kim, of the four generations. Let's talk about, what they are and why it's important to celebrate and embrace, the generational differences.
Yep. So we have the four generations are the traditionalists who are currently aged 66 and above.
Okay.
Then we have baby boomers, roughly 45 to 65. Then Gen X, 31 to 44, 45. And then the youngest generation, Gen Y, is age 11 to 30. So those are the four generations that are represented in the workplace today.
Okay, and I know you talk a lot about Generation Y, the younger generation, in your book, and you say this generation can cause some friction. Why is that?
Yeah, Generation Y has very high expectations of themselves and others.
Yeah.
And they come into the workplace, they ask a lot of questions, they challenge the status quo, they change jobs a lot, they utilize technology in a much different way. And so some of the other generations view them as disrespectful, as wanting things handed to them without paying their dues, and it does cause, some friction between the generations in the workplace. I think Gen Y has some great things that they offer, but it's the approach and thinking about the others that they're working with to try and avoid some of that.
Okay, so if a boss or, a member of a workforce is watching thinking, that sounds like me, those Gen Y folks, they, want everything handed to them like you said, what do they do? I mean, how do they utilize the strengths that Gen Y does have to offer?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is, accepting that there are differences between the generations and then understanding what those strengths are and how they can leverage them. Everybody wants to be respected. Everybody wants to feel like they're valued and contributing to the workplace. So how do you leverage all that to really impact your productivity?
Great. Something else I like that you talk about in the book, you talk about key elements that happen, during the lifetime of the different generations and the impact that they have. Like what? What kind of things and how significant are these events on the different generations?
Yeah, so the research has shown that what was happening during each generation's formative years, so birth to 18, the events that were going on during that time of each generation ultimately helped shape each generation's core values and their personality. So that's not to say that everybody, across the generation is the same, but there are a lot of things that they share in common.
Okay, so let's quickly kind of give a little overview of our 69 News at Sunrise staff, if you would, and highlight, what our strengths are. Let's start with Rick. He's our baby boomer. What kind of strengths does Rick bring to the table, besides the obvious ones, of course?
So Rick brings great things like he's a team player, he's a good collaborator, very relationship oriented, and brings some great ideas as well.
Great. Matt and Hasiel, both Generation X.
They're very independent. They don't require a lot of supervision. They tend to be pretty creative. So in meetings, they are ones that often have a lot of really good ideas. And they also really place an emphasis on balancing work and family.
Okay. And lastly, I just barely, I'm Generation Y.
So Generation Y, obviously they leverage technology, very smart, the most highly educated of the four generations.
Thanks, Kim.
They thrive on change, so they're very adaptable and also very passionate.
Okay, and that sounds, sounds like everybody, some great qualities for all three of the generations that we have here on our show. And you said that's pretty normal, like you said earlier, about most workplaces have the three generations, some of course four, but Okay.
Yep, that's pretty common.
So where can people pick up this book and read more about the strengths of the different generations?
Yep. Well, right now it's available through my website, which is www.khrsolutions.com.
Right.
And so it can be ordered directly through there.
Super. And what's next for you, Kim? Do you hope to write another book, or is this one taking up enough of your time for right now?
I definitely hope to write another. I have some good ideas floating around, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break
first. Take a little break. Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty crazy busy after this one just came out. Well, hopefully you'll come back when your next book is out and with more great tips in the meantime. Kim, thanks so much. Always great to see you. Thank you. And stay with us. We'll be right back.